Let's go.
So after the Phantom reveals his poor seal mask,
Boy, for once I hope a joke does become dated.
he tells Christine not to focus on the mask, but on him. And then we see this. I'm guessing this is meant to show hypnosis or her going under a trance, but at first it looked to me like she was thinking, if I squint and let my eyes glaze over, he almost looks like a person. Anyway, the Phantom puts the dazed Christine into the iconic boat and some iconic music plays. He leads Christine through the door to his chambers, and everything goes black and white. I have brought you here 5 cellars underground.
That's not how it goes.
Down that path into darkness, deep as
I'm sorry, I apologize to everyone for that. I thought long and hard about whether or not to include it. I'm not editing it out, though.
As the Phantom pleads for Christine's love here, it really became clear to me that Lon Chaney really was a master of silent acting. Even without the music, and even with that silly little tissue flap, you can see and feel the unrequited anguish in his eyes and even on his face.
Now back to the snark.
Sup? Am I? One more guessed the tune, and this one is all throughout the film.
Root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame.
As the text says, the night passed, a night of vague horrors, tortured dreams,
Excessive use of hyphens.
and the next morning, after the camera takes a well-deserved blink, Christine finds a note from the Phantom saying that she'll come to no harm if her love can overcome her fear, and so long as she doesn't touch the Phantom's mask. I'm sure that won't be a problem.
What I love in the book is that he left this note because he went off to buy groceries. And let it be a lesson to you all, he wore a mask.
And then, the iconic moment.
Now that's how you score a sequence.
Christine begs to be set free. Sort of. If you love me as you say, let me go. I promise to be your slave forever.
One of these things just doesn't belong here. I sing quite a lot in these reviews, but it's about an opera, so whatever.
Christine swears never to see Raoul again. The transition that follows basically calls her a filthy liar. Although I gave my word never to see you again, I must. I will be at the ball masque tomorrow night, but not alone. Beware, Christine. The masquerade ball is introduced through a very different text card, and it is here that the Red Death appears.
Every time I hear that note, I hope it'll be the Phantom theme. But he does beat up a jester.
Raoul and Christine flee to the roof, where Christine begs Raoul to rescue her after the performance the next night. The Phantom, overhearing this, laments over his inability to toss fire at them in this version. Meanwhile, in the office of the prefect, it is revealed that Eric is a master of the black art.
Just one of them, I guess.
Later, while Raoul examines this human concept of tears,
Salty.
Christine reveals that she heard the Phantom's voice and that he knows everything. And sure enough, at the performance that night, Christine is whisked away after the Phantom replaces the orchestra conductor, in a sequence that, at least for the time, I could actually see being pretty scary.
If it weren't for that mask.
Raoul rushes off to save her, and while in the two musicals the
dick-wagging contest
is between the Phantom and Raoul, here it's definitely between Raoul and the Persian.
And I really do love some of the expressions in this movie.
Having trouble with your mirror, old chap? Technically, the movie says he's Ledoux of the secret police, hence his kind of sort of being in the movie.
But screw that, he's the Persian. I mean, I'm sure he's not played by a Persian actor in this, but oh. Good job, 20s.
With their hands at the level of their eyes, they walk through some wonderful shadow work, drop through a trapdoor into another beautifully done shot, and make their way through the catacombs.
He just slapped the color out of the world.
Raoul's brother, who had been following them this whole time, sets off the Phantom's cat alarm.
Came free with his monkey music box.
It seems we have callers.
Oh, Phantom, you cheeky devil. Oh, Phantom, you cheeky murderer.
The callers have departed.
Oh, Phantom, you cheeky rule of threes.
Meanwhile, back underground, Raoul's whining heroism alerts the Phantom to his and the Persian's presence, and I really do love this next exchange. Christine, my dear, did you hear voices? No, good. The Phantom activates his torture chamber, causing immense heat, and using a combination of illusions and hallucinations gives the two the feeling of being trapped in the desert, wandering aimlessly and dehydrated, with only a noose as an escape.
No joke here, I just think that shot's cool. Or hot. Now there's a joke.
As the mob races outside, the Persian finds a trapdoor. They emerge into a room full of barrels, not, as they hope, filled with water, but with gunpowder. The Phantom traps the two with a portcullis and gives Christine a choice. If she turns the Scorpion, she agrees to be the Phantom's wife and spares Raoul. And if she turns the Grasshopper, the opera will be blown to 1,000 bits.
Seems like there'd be more, it's a pretty big building.
She chooses wisely. But the lake drains into the room where Raoul and the Persian are.
Whoopsie doodle.
But at Christine's pleas, the Phantom opens another trapdoor.
He loves those.
And lets them out. But the mob's arrival is signaled by the cat alarm. What? The Phantom steals Christine away, rushes to a getaway carriage, and the mob gives chase. But Christine falls out of the carriage, and the Phantom makes a decision.
No sweet deduction lies before you when you're dead. That's the real point of no return.
And he runs for it. When the mob catches up, he pretends to have a grenade, I think just so he can go out on one last ta-da bit of magic. They don't like it, and they kill him. The end. I mean, finis.
So that was the 1929 cut of The Phantom of the Opera. It had some great shots, a lot more amusing moments than the first version, and let me just say my audio has significantly improved. The only complaint I have is that abrupt and disappointing ending.